Hi guys, Awesome Chess Blunderer 24 here, and today I have a game played in the World Rapid Championship between Carlsen and Vokidov, and yeah, Vokidov is I think a 16 years old international master from Uzbekistan, and as you can see, I have a picture on my left. So yeah, and this game is played in the world. So I haven't been uploading the World Rapid Championship game and World Blitz lately, but I'll tell you the tournament results later. And yeah, I have something to do, so yeah, I couldn't upload this video before, so now it's here, and let's just get on to the game. So we start off with e4, e5. And during the live stream, the commentator was saying that they were most likely gonna go for the reload pass, knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5. But instead, Carlsen whips out his queen to h5. And now, um, how do you play here? Well, black plays knight to c6 and now bishop to c4. And knight f6 was played, and queen takes on f7. And this is checkmate. So yeah, this is all the game, guys. Except that none of this happened, and he played g6. Queen to f3, just going for checkmate again. And now queen to e7, just protecting this pawn. And now knight to e2, and it was in this position that a new game is played, like the game that has never been seen before on this board. And now knight to f6, and now d3, bishop to g7, developing a bishop, knight to c knight b to c3, developing a knight, and now h h6, just preventing a bishop to g5, with the pin. And now knight to d5. But before that, you might think knight to b5 would cause a lot of problem, but I think just d6 would solve the problem. Queen would protect this pawn, and yeah, so that's why he went knight to d5, going for a series of exchange. Knight takes on d5, e takes on d5, and now knight to um, a5, just going for this bishop. And instead of playing bishop to b3 and allowing knight takes, a takes, Carlsen goes for a completely different idea. It's a really good one. The idea he went for is d6. And yeah, this is a really good idea. So if you take with, you can't really take with your queen, because queen is going to take on f7, white, and now after king d8, then queen will take on g7, and yeah, white is going to be winning this game. So instead, black decides to mess up his pawn structure with c takes on d6, and now bishop to d5. And now black realizes he misplaced his knight and has messed up pawn structure, so he just breaks his knight back to c6, and now bishop to d2, just developing your bishop. Queen f6, asking for a trade. Queen e4, Carlsen doesn't want to trade, and now castle. White castles, and now knight e7, going for this bishop. Well, and now knight to c3. And now, what? Okay, queen f5 is played, and now queen to b4. Yes, Carlsen doesn't want to trade his queen. Knight takes on d5, knight takes on d5, and king h7. Just sorry, guys. King h7. So that was just preventing knight to e7 tactic here. But I think queen to h5 would have been a better move. You'll see what I mean later. Carlsen just had black has just allowed a really interesting tactic later. So king h7, knight c7, rook to b8, queen takes on b6. Now b6, trying to find other way to on um develop your bishop, since this pawn is blocked. And in this position, Carlsen missed a really interesting tactic. In this position, Carlsen played f3, but that's a really interesting tactic regarding knight to d8. So either black must take and just be down the exchange, or if he tries to save his rook, then he'll allow knight takes on g7, king takes on g7, bishop takes on h6, king takes on h6, and queen takes on f8. And white is gonna win the game sooner or later by bringing his rook to the king side. But instead now bishop b7 is played. Instead f3 is played, then bishop b7. Now rook a to e1, and now rook f to c1. And now in this position, Carlsen has allowed Carlsen played c3, and he has allowed bishop to um, f8, just completely trapping his queen. And now Carlsen has found a way to get some slight compensation, not really of a compensation. Bishop takes on d6, and now knight takes on d6, just forking the queen and the rook. And now queen to e6. Knight takes on c8, rook takes on c8, and now rook takes on e5. Now queen to d6. Now, yeah, it was in this position that actually black was in time trouble, and Carlsen was perfectly fine. He has 8 minutes, and yeah, Carlsen, Carlsen, the only no Carlsen has the only hope Carlsen has is that black would mess up in time trouble, like miscalculate his moves in time trouble. So yeah, so now rook to e1, rook f to e1. Um, Now bishop to d5. A4, just protect, not allowing bishop to take this pawn. Now bishop to e6, and now a5. Pawn takes on b takes on a5, and now king to f1. Rook to c5. When you're up material, you want to trade down until like to a winning endgame. And yeah, rook takes on c5, queen takes on c5, and now rook to a1, just hoping to win the a5 pawn, and now a pawn to d5. Rook takes on a5, and now queen to c7, just attacking the rook and the h1 pawn. I mean h2 pawn, sorry. Rook a4, and now queen takes on h2. Rook takes on a7, and now queen to h1 check. King to f2, d4, and it was in this position that Magnus Carlsen resigned. Well, because why did he resign? Why can't you take on d4? Well, if you take on d4, you allow queen to h4, and this is just winning. King moves down and just take and attack this rook, attack this pawn. Your position's all messed up. Game over. It's gonna be over soon. So yeah, Magnus Carlsen just lost the first two games in the World Rapid Championship, and in the end he came back into top 5, I think, and it was Dubov who won the Rapid Championship, followed by Mamedyarov and Nakamura. I'll show a game on the World Blitz Championship sooner or later, so yeah, stay tuned, guys, and subscribe to this YouTube channel, like this video if you like it, and follow my Instagram, and yeah, follow my Twitch too. So that is all, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and see ya.